A few short weeks from today sees the premiere of James Gunn's Superman movie, DCWB's first chapter in their second attempt at building a cinematic superhero universe. And while there is certainly cause for interest, and for caution, it provides us with a fine opportunity to look back over past adaptations of the most iconic of superheroes. Several such adaptations are stored in this vault, but it seemed only appropriate to start with the oldest one, the collection of animated shorts produced by Fleischer Studios in the 1940s. The series of cartoons follows mild-mannered reporter Clark Kent and his intrepid colleague Lois Lane as they work for the Daily Planet to hunt down the top stories to publish. But the search for news often uncovers nefarious dangers, forcing Clark to shed his civilian identity and leap into action as Superman, the last survivor of the planet Krypton. Gifted with superhuman strength, speed, flight, and vision, he fights a never-ending battle for truth and justice. The American way wasn't a part of the slogan when these were made. There's something to be said for simple storytelling, and these Superman cartoons are as simple and straightforward as it gets. Nearly every vignette follows the same formula. Lois and Clark are chasing after a story to report, only to run into danger, and it's up to Superman to stop the threat and save the day. With the exception of the odd monster or natural disaster, the villains are an eclectic collection of petty criminals, mad scientists, or wartime enemies in pursuit of wealth or power, or both. I can't say I never chased those goals myself. And no matter the danger, you can be confident that Superman will find a way to overcome it. And that is perfectly fine. After all, a story doesn't always have to be complex to be entertaining, and with the number of subversive Supermen we've seen in recent media, or worse, deconstructions of the character himself, it's refreshing to return to these depictions of classical heroism and good triumphing over evil. While some of the later features were clearly influenced by wartime sentiments and cultural norms of the time, jungle drums wouldn't get made today, I can tell you. The series overall remains a shining example of Superman using his gifts to fight for the greater good. And good writing, rousing musical scores, and brilliant animation make these stories a thrill to watch. Given the brevity of each installment, the bulk of characterization is given to Lois and Clark, and Clark's talent for playing dual identities. As Superman, he's stoic, direct, and goal-oriented, while his civilian persona is more relaxed and mild-mannered with a dry sense of humor. And his ability to flip between the two contrasting personalities makes him a fun character to follow. Lois is more consistent in her character, but no less compelling. She possesses a sharp wit, a passion for her work, and a clear lack of fear in her pursuit of the next great story, even if it gets her into trouble from time to time. And just because she needs Superman's help on occasion, it doesn't mean she's afraid to fight back when the occasion calls for it. Now, I can't talk about these cartoons without bringing up the masterful animation quality. Paramount paid Fleischer Studios a hefty sum for these shorts, and it's on clear display in the detail and fluidity. There was a subtle loss of detail when production shifted to Famous Studios, but the quality was still impressive, even by today's standards. You can even see the influence of this art style all the way into the 1990s in Batman the Animated Series. Traditional animation. It's such a lost art. The Fleischer Studio cartoons are actually in the public domain, so there are plenty of ways to watch them for free. But if you'd like to procure physical copies, and I highly recommend that you do, there have been collections released over the years on VHS, DVD, and Blu-ray. At roughly 10 minutes per story, each one makes for quick, fun entertainment, or you can binge the whole collection in the span of an evening. Solid writing and brilliant production values make this series an unforgettable chapter in the history of the world's greatest superhero. Thank you for joining me in this brief look into the archives of my vault. If this story interests you, please feel free to like this video and to comment on what you enjoy about it. And if you would be kind enough to share this video, it will not only help my channel to grow, which I appreciate, but it will bring more attention to these older or lesser known works.